Tug inspired me to make my own James model. However, I would not use the J11. The Unlucky Tug model is quite beautiful, and once I had heard he brush painted, then I had enough inspiration to do James myself. Only one thing. What do I use? A 4F that I have on hand, tender driven, a Dean's Goods, which is also tender driven that I have on hand as well, or a Charlotte's Goods on hand that is not tender driven. And I decided on the 4F. Now, all I needed to do was begin. At the time, I had gotten a cheap, broken down 5300, which I would use the cab, the front buffer beam, and the front wheels for. And soon enough, I tested it out, putting the front bogie in front. Sure enough, I liked it. So next step was to remove the cab and begin work. I had to saw off the front buffer beam. And I must say, it was rather strange seeing a 4F with a Great Western cab. However, once everything was black, he was starting to take shape. All I needed to do was attach the front buffer beam and the front bogie. Luckily, I had a screw hole in the front. The next step was my strong suit, which was multiple layers of paint. So, gray first, then red. Then the lining and the golden dome. I went with the Railway Series blue and gold lining. Followed by a can of finish. Not a whole can, but a spray can, so. And then my James was all done. And I must say, he is rather lovely. I know he's not the biggest engine, I know he's not the most loved in the whole fandom, but he does have a special place in my heart. James is not my favorite character. That belongs to Edward himself. However, James is important to me. James was the first engine I had ever received as a year old. I got a 1997 James, and I loved it. So, ever since then, James has always been the first engine I've made or customized. Bearing the experimental engine, of course. I wouldn't dare ruin a James. So, my James is now done. I must say, I owe the Unlucky Tug a thank you for, if I did not know he had brush painted his models, I would have never made this little guy. And what else can I say? I do love this splendid red engine.